as week in, week out.
That's not what I was implying.
It's okay. We all know it's true. Don't worry.
I think his problem. I think he just has too. I think he overcomplicates it. I think he has too many other programs upon programs and running stuff, and he has like the Streamlab buttons and everything, and it's just probably messing shit up all the time. Hi, chat. All right, AJ, I'm going to talk for a little bit, then I want you to talk, and then we'll ask chat how we sound.
Okay.
You can talk now.
I could talk now. I'm talking, so I'm talking now.
That's good.
More talking.
I mean, I just want to know what people think. I think I might be a little louder than you, is my guess.
Yeah, you're slightly louder.
All right, I'll lower myself, because I'm peaking anyways, it looks like, so that should be better. AJ, would you like to talk again for a little bit?
Oh, I love to talk. Talking is my favorite. I just talk all the time.
Okay. How's that?
How's that, chat?
Chat, let me know if that was good.
That sounds good. That's good.
That's good. All right, I'm going to tweet.
Yum?
Oh, yeah, I should tweet too. For my dozens of callers.
Need a little leeway since Mike tends to get a little louder.
It's true. Let me know if I'm peaking or something.
On that mic. Double the compress. Oh, the Minotti mess. There you go.
Naughty mess.
Naughty mess. That sounds gross, actually. All right, I have super chats.
Wow, it does that you said that. It was
Mike told us way too much about the Minotti mess before we don't need to hear about that again.
We don't talk about the Minotti mess of 98.
Of 98.
Trying to think, what did we do?
You know what you did.
There's probably something.
Let's see if I can actually lower H.
The Minotti mess of 2000 is well known.
Oh,
maybe
shit.
I can raise myself. I can raise myself.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say the incident at Disney World.
No. Nope. It's when I flipped the Jeep and Mike was the passenger.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he almost killed me.
You're fine. Good thing we were wearing our seatbelts.
Yeah, that's true.
You're here right now.
Actually, wear your seatbelts. Wear your seatbelts, everybody.
No, it's true, because my kids, if they take their seatbelts when we're driving, I literally pull the car over and make them put them on. They're like, why? I'm like, because you wouldn't be here.
That's right.
Just do it.
Should I lower both me and AJ? Are we both peaking? Are we both too loud?
Yeah, because we're liable to increase in volume once we get rolling. I would turn us both down a smidge.
Okay, I've turned us both down a smidge. AJ, you talk now.
Okay, I'm talking now. Hello, chat. I see people saying things.
Yes.
Some names I know, some I don't. Hello.
I think that's right. I think we're both okay.
Yeah, it should be good.
Well, okay. Where's the break?
98 was pretty good year.
I don't have anything that's going to give me any notifications. What's this? I'll talk about that later. All right, we're going to get started in a second here. So I had to open up the that's one thing. I had to open up the music. Let's see, I got.
Yeah, why do I hear duplication?
Probably because you have the audio for the podcast running on YouTube.
Yeah, the stream open.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Immediately figured it out.
We figured it out. Good job, everybody.
Good saluting.
Because I popped out the chat and then I minimized the video and I forgot it was open.
Yeah. Okay. You're not going to hear anything, AJ. Okay. You know when to come in.
There we go.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3.
All right, guys. Thank you, mods.
All right.
Yep.
Toodaloo.
Later.
And then there were two.
Okay, we're starting now. It's the internet. I don't care if you're busy. You're going to listen to me talk about video games anyways. Welcome to the Game Master Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of games, so you don't have to think for yourself. I am your host, Mike Minotti, and with me is...
Jay Minotti.
We did it. In today's episode, the Mario movie trailer is Rio. Overwatch 2 has a rough launch, and Need for Speed watches one episode of Naruto, and look what happens. But first, let's welcome our special guest today. It is my brother, AJ. Once again, you've done
What's
this
up,
with Jeff
all you
before.
rad dudes and dudettes? Welcome to night. Whoa, shoot!
No,
I'm sorry,
that's
wrong
not-
podcast. Hang on.
No, we're not doing that.
Hello and welcome to the Exploding Barrel Pot. No, hang on.
No. They don't. I wonder how many people here have ever listened to an episode of Exploding Barrel. Me and AJ did a video game podcast as brothers way back. Actually, it's not way that we started like 2007.
Well, we started way back
and did it for
2 years. All because of Jeff Grubb.
Yeah. Well, then I'm like, this podcast took off, and I was like, I don't want to repeat myself on that show that nobody watches as much.
Just because this podcast got listeners and made money.
Yeah. Right. Imagine that. But hey, it's good. This is like a little Exploding Barrel reunion. We, Jeff
Right.
is.
This is that final episode we promised everybody and never did.
Well, we never did the final episode because you insisted it had to be a musical, and then did it.
It has to be a musical.
Okay, then great. Fuck you. Go write a musical then. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I got one song written.
Yeah, you have the lyrics to a song written. It's not
No,
like,
I have the music too.
Yeah,
I have it. It's
that.
ready to go.
Sure. All right, AJ. I've had enough of your tomfoolery. We have a lot going on. First off, I want to say that if you want to get more from me and sometimes AJ and Jeff, you can join our Discord at GameMess.net. If you want to ask a question, you can drop a super chat during the show while we're live on YouTube. We are going to read all super chats at some point. Thanks to Carlos Ain, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube, for the use of our theme songs. We are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and wherever pods are cost. Give us a good rating when you're listening. Hit that like button on YouTube, everybody. It helps more people find the show. And a special shout out and thank you to the mods. You can support us by going to patreon.com/GameS. That'll give you access to those private channels in the Discord. This includes stuff like the monthly Q&A with Jeff and our monthly Jeopardy game. So look, we don't even need Jeff Grubb. I can do all this shit. I can say words.
Yeah, it's really easy to read things, it turns out.
All right, AJ, let's get to this.
Okay, let's do it.
It happened. We got that Mario trailer.
The universe did not explode.
It did. So it's a real thing. I wish I knew how to do polls. Maybe one of the mods doesn't know run a poll because I want to know what other people think. Like the trailer itself almost seems secondary to the voice. Let's just start with the voice, the Chris Pratt voice.
We're starting there. Okay, let's go to Chris Pratt. I mean, so it was funny. So I showed this to my kids, and the first thing that Sophia said when Mario spoke was, "That's not how he sounds in the games."
It's funny. I mean, it is weird because Mario does have such a defined voice. It is strange in that regard. Now, having said that, I think that I had a whole year to prepare for this, and I had worst case scenarios running in my head for so long. Of one, just Chris Pratt just sounding exactly like normal Chris Pratt, or two, him trying to do like the Charles Martinet and it being real weird. Chris Pratt with like a slight Brooklyn accent is actually the best we could have gotten here, and I think it's fine, maybe even actually all right.
I'm just confused because so much of the reaction on Twitter is like, "Oh, he's just doing the Chris Pratt voice." I'm like, "Well, he's not."
Yeah, that's.
I mean, there's something more to it. Plus, we heard two lines. One's kind of like whispered, and the other's shouting. So you don't really get like the best sense of it. Like we need to hear dialogue to get like a good sense of.
There's some people in chat right now too. I agree. I actually don't understand the people who are saying it's literally just Chris Pratt.
It's not. It's not literally Chris Pratt.
He's definitely doing a voice. He's definitely doing an accent.
Emmett in the Lego Movie. That's literally Chris Pratt.
Right.
This is not that.
Right. So that like I think like subjectively, if you like it or not, I understand. I think the is it just the Chris Pratt voice? No, I mean it's Chris Pratt, obviously, but you know what I mean. He's not just talking. He doesn't just sound like what's his face from Parks and Rec.
It's not Andy from Parks and Rec.
Right. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's fine. Maybe I actually, defend the live action Mario movie too. So who cares about my opinions? Here's Jeff, who is not on the show, had a very violent reaction against it. Yeah, he got mad on Twitter.com. He went on tilt.
Okay, let's back it up. And talk about why Jeff has to do that. Jeff nearly died when they announced Chris Pratt. It would create like a paradox, like a rip in space-time if he was okay with this. He has to go along with it being bad. That's just his character at this point.
But he's also wrong. He's saying it's bad, but the title of the episode on his podcast is Chris Pratt's Mario is Fine. So, I mean, he's just he is also factually wrong.
He's tied into
I don't
this.
know. I'll talk to Jeff about it on Tuesday because there's a part of me that's wondering, like, I mean, look, it doesn't have to be, well, how much better could it have been? Maybe no matter what, a Chris Pratt Mario was always going to be bad. I can understand that. I think this is certainly as good as it was going to get. Again, I like
a step in the right direction.
If we're not going to get video game Mario, which is like, like a super caricature, I kind of like Brooklyn Mario as seen in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and in the live action movie. I kind of like that version of Mario fine too.
Someone IGN posted a video where they got the music somehow without the voices and just put in like Mario 64 shouting for all his lines. And 2 hours of that would be awful. It'd be terrible. You'd want to stab your ears out.
Yeah, I do. I kind of do agree with that. Like some people, why not just have Charles Martinet do it? And maybe he could have, and he could have toned it back. If it is him just doing the wahoo wah wah kind of stuff for like an hour and a half, maybe that'd be a bit much. I am actually I feel much better about the voice than I thought I would have. So
let's talk about the more substantial view we got of Bowser, played by Jack Black. What'd you think of him?
That seems like a home run. I think everybody's on board with that. That's great.
But both the girls were both of them were like, "Oh, that's what Bowser sounds like. That's cool." Like they were into it.
Yeah, that's great. Like it's just Bowser again. Like you may not have even really known necessarily that was Jack Black. Like he's definitely look, to be clear, he's definitely doing a better job than Chris Pratt. I agree with that. Even the whole kind of setup there with like the giant floating Bowser castle fortress thing and that confrontation with the penguins and. It's all goofy fun, and yet Bowser still seemed like a threat.
He's kind of scary. Like, that's what I kind of like about this so far. Like, he is like a big bad.
Yeah, and also, and I knew Kamek was in it. I think, like, they announced his voice actor. I'm a big Kamek fan. I think Kamek is horribly underutilized. I love him as, like, the lieutenant / like, parental figure for Bowser. So seeing that role for Kamek, that was actually the first character we really saw. I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
The actor playing him is Kevin Michael Richardson. He's kind of like the only like voice actor in the movie so far that we've seen. He was Cobra Bubbles in Lilo and Stitch. You would know him best.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
That's great.
But I mean, he's got a bajillion credits. Like he's one of those prolific voice actors. He was Goro in the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. Actually.
So he's no stranger to this field.
Right. He's done video game movies before.
Okay, that's interesting. Also, Keegan's Toad is very good. Which it's like,
yes,
again,
that was really good.
I didn't think we were going to have a whole character actually talk like this throughout a whole movie.
Yeah, but again, it was a question mark. Like how much? Like I would never know that was Keegan Michael Key. It just sounds like Toad should sound like.
Yeah. So that's all good. I again, maybe it's because I actually like the live action Mario movie. I like doing the whole Mario is not from the Mushroom Kingdom and he gets teleported there and it's a good storytelling dynamic because you need that fish out of water character to be your proxy. What do we call that? There's like an anime term for it now. I always just think of oh
really?
Well, yeah, I always think it's a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Quarter, the Mark Twain story, but there's a seke. Yeah, a seke. I feel like Mark Twain may have predated this. So I don't know how anime once again claimed this one, but it did somehow.
Wow, everybody knew this. I feel old for the first time.
I wonder how many of these people have
everyone in chat.
I wonder how many of these people have read a Mark Twain book since like middle school when they were forced to, but they all know about. Oh, they're mad I said it wrong too. They mad I pronounced it wrong. It's Mark Twain. It's ECK. Yeah. Okay, that was really bad bait there. It's weird, and I had this reaction when the leak happened, the McDonald's leak. I got over the voice much faster than the even smaller changes to Mario's face. I don't know why that's throwing me off. It's not as bad. It's not as bad in animation.
Yeah, it looks weirder and still than it does when it's moving. I don't know why that is. Like I literally put the two side by side. I'm like, why are these different?
Yeah,
you can't see it, but you can feel it.
It's what really is like the shorter eyes. And our brother Chris said this. He looks like one of the Nicelanders. The specific like what's the mayor?
Gene.
Gene. He looks like Gene from Wreck-It Ralph. Like I mean, Mario has actually a lot of Fix-It Felix vibes, which is funny because Fix-It Felix is just inspired by Mario. Right. So. But yeah, I don't know. Like, overall, though, and then we had like that glimpse of Luigi, and it had the Luigi Mansion vibes. We had Dry Bones,
and that was just Charlie Day screaming. Like,
yeah, but
again, very little to go on there. But that was like, oh, it's Charlie Day,
right? I mean, I'm sure he's going to have a slight Brooklyn accent, and I think that's fine enough for me. But yeah, like I aside from the Mario thing, which is like some subjective stuff there, I'm fine with it. If you're not fine with it, I understand. I think that was a good trailer. Like that was a really good teaser trailer.
I'm excited for the movie. My kids are excited. They all want to go see it. And if you don't think this movie's not going to make $1 bajillion, you're a fool.
Oh, I think everybody thinks that. I don't think anybody doubts that. I mean, it should be immediately the highest grossing video game movie ever. It should do better than Sonic. It seems like Detective Pikachu underperformed just because maybe its premise was like a bit too much. I don't know. If it was just Pokemon,
it did seem
the
it was
movie.
A little more like it wasn't like necessarily. It was a Pokemon movie for like millennials, not for kids necessarily.
Just for teens. Let's go to the polls. And I am just waiting for Biden to throw that one out at some point. So that was the big thing. But we also had Overwatch 2's launch, AJ, and like even when this happened, I was like, like leading up to this, I'm like, okay, I know it's going to be a rough launch. Big online games always have rough launches. Like I'm not going to be surprised. This has gone especially rough, hasn't it?
Well, it's been a multitude of issues. There have been 2 separate DDoS attacks, so that's not helping. Combined with what appears to be issues with the account merging process, which was the goal of one of the 2 downtimes this evening to fix that. And then just the general server instability that's caused by who knows what.
Breaking news. Nintendo has announced the Nintendo 64 game. We didn't get one last month. We are getting one this month, AJ, and it is.
Oh my God, what is it?
Pilot Wing 64 on October 13th, coming to the Nintendo Switch Online and expansion pack.
Yeah, that's a week.
Members. Yeah, I actually really
played a lot of this game.
I mean,
it was one of 2 games we had, so I just played a lot of it.
Right, you had to. Like you played Mario 64. And then you would also play Pilot Wings, and then you waited until Shadows of the Empire came out, basically. Sean's down on. I liked Pilot Wings 64. I wonder if it holds up.
There's something about that the bird wings that you got just flying around that island. I mean, again, you have to go back to 1996, and we've never done anything like this on a console. Just flying around that island was revolutionary. It was fun. It was chill. It was exciting.
Yeah, well, because like there's the missions, but there's also like the free roam thing on that island, right. and there's like the secret tunnels and whatnot, and I like that blew my mind at the time. Yeah. I thought that was cool as hell. I mean, this is more exciting to me than getting one of the Mario parties, which I have Mario Party on Switch already. We do not really have anything like Pilot Wings on the Switch, so I guess we have Pilot Wings Super Nintendo. I assume is on there. That is not as good. It just isn't. Mode 7's okay. It can't substitute for an actual 3D world. But so yes, okay. So Overwatch 2, it had a DDoS attack. It has major queue problems. People being dropped out of the queues. Some people weren't getting their like crossover progression stuff accounted for. And then also they had this weird like phone requirement where you had to you couldn't use a prepaid phone account basically. If you had one of those, you couldn't get on the game. It's like how they're trying to combat cheating and multiple account stuff since like people, it's free to play. People don't have to buy the game. So there has to be some way to stop like rampant just duplicate accounts and cheating. I don't know. But the problem is like,
well, it's like it's the idea is if you get banned, you can't just make another account easily, which it's their heart's in the right place, but the implementation leaves something to be desired.
Right. There's plenty of people like there are a lot of legitimate prepaid phone accounts, right? And plans.
Well, even like my kids, I was thinking like, hey, like before they announced, I was like, Overwatch 2 free to play on their Switches? Yeah, like they could play that. And it's like, oh, they need a phone. Well, they don't have phones. Right. So I guess they're not playing Overwatch.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb, and they're walking back from it. Although they're saying for a majority of existing Overwatch players, it's going to be fine. So
I mean, you had to be an Overwatch one before June of 2021. So if you bought it like in the last year and change, it's still no good for you.
Yeah, they're gonna have to walk this back even more. I think I don't quite understand what they were thinking. It is funny that this is the Don't You People Have Phones company. Yes. Course. Don't you people have phones with like, that isn't prepaid and from one of the major carriers, I guess? Like, I don't know. It's a bizarre thing there. So I wonder just how bad this launch has been. Again, there's a lot of games that have rough launches. It's always hard to tell. At what point is it actually disastrous?
I expect that first night to be rough. I didn't expect it to still be an issue, like where at lunch today on my Switch, there was a 700 person queue and I just never got in during my lunch break. So I was like, I guess I'm not doing this right now. That I did not expect to still be a problem. So
Yeah,
the funny thing is, if you go on the Reddit, it's this combination of this game's dead, no one likes Overwatch, no one's gonna play this, combined with too many people are queuing up, we can't get in. So it's like, well, which is it, guys?
Well, like if you go on the Reddit right now, you see how negativity can beget negativity because it's so hard to get online. There's all these other little problems. Like, so then the things people are skeptical about, like the change from 66 to 5 versus 5, all these little hero changes. It seems like they're carrying that negativity over to that. Like, I actually have liked most of the gameplay changes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you go on Reddit right now, people are saying, no, this is terrible. It ruined the game.
But they say it's terrible, but they give no explanation or justification. And they get thousands of upvotes for it. Like, this is a downgrade, period.
Right. So,
and that's all they say. And it's like, okay.
And there's plenty to be negative about right now. And, anybody who's like, I don't see why this is Overwatch 2, I definitely do get that still. I'm kind of over that personally.
It's pure semantic. The 2 doesn't matter. Like, get over it. It's just, it is what it is. Judge it on its own merits. Don't get hung up on that.
But we'll talk about our experiences with Overwatch 2 later, because we were able to play quite a bit. What's this Turbotron says? I think there's a bit of a misconception here. Some prepaid carriers have issues, but if you have one from the modern prepaid carriers like Tello or Mint, you're fine. See, but it's like, okay, see, that only confuses the matter more for me, Sean. Like, I don't know what's okay and what isn't. Is Cricket Wireless one of these? I don't know.
Yeah, Cricket's one that doesn't work for sure, and that's a big.
They have commercials everywhere. They got that fucking Grimace.
A lot of European prepaid carriers work fine apparently too. So again, it's like there had to be a better way of verifying your identity than a postpaid or correct prepaid phone line.
And again, there's like, there's people who are old enough to play Overwatch and maybe don't have phones. And hey, maybe there's people who don't want to have a cell phone. And they should still be able to play Overwatch if they want to. I know it's not that many of them, but still, it's a weird thing. And it's going to be interesting to see how this colors. I mean, this is just so different from that vibe when Overwatch 1 came out. And we were just all freaking out that a team-based shooter could look this cool, feature animation work like that, just had this incredible aesthetic. Nobody talks about that stuff anymore. Granted, because not a lot of it has changed. As much as I'm enjoying the game, if there's any graphical improvements to it, I don't even know if there were supposed to be. I can't tell. The UI changed. That's it. So it's a weird situation. I'm going to be very curious to see what comes of it all. But we're going to talk about Overwatch 2 a little bit later. Hey, AJ, Platinum Games, they've had a year. Yeah, their CEO, Atsushi, I think I've got this. Atsushi Inaba talked with VGC about Babylon's Fall closure, saying that we're extremely sorry. He's kind of thought about, oh yeah, that sucked. But he said this: there's a lot that we learned from this experience, and it's not changed our future plans or outlook moving forward regarding doing live service games at all. Live service games are definitely something we do want to do and put our effort in moving forward. AJ Platinum talked before about how they were making this pivot to live service games. It was going to be this big part of the future, and somehow, despite, let's be clear, like, they didn't just fail with Babylon's Fall. It was astronomical how quickly that flopped. But they're not deterred. I'd be deterred.
Well, the lesson here is don't partner with Square Enix on anything ever, apparently, because I don't know what it is. Like, they can't get Tomb Raider right. They couldn't get Marvel right. They couldn't get this right. I don't know why.
Square Enix makes your favorite live service game ever now.
No. When they're internal, they're fine. But when they're partnering with people like that, they just, I don't know. It's weird. They can't get this right.
I don't know if I want to just absolve Platinum Games of all blame.
No. So I have to admit, like, I was never interested in Babylon's Fall. I did not follow it.
I don't think many people were.
Know much. Like, what was the failure? Was it just like bad gameplay? Was it the failures of the live service?
If it feels that bad, I think it's everything. I think the biggest problem was just how incredibly bland it looked. It had absolutely no identity whatsoever. It's a game that released a demo when maybe it shouldn't have, because then people did get to try it and see how awful it was. But companies can have
Platinum's they're a weird studio to me. I think you were just about to say it's like they have some highs. Like, you go back to the beginning with Bayonetta, Metal Gear Rising or Vengeance, up to Nier Automata. But then, like, they have a lot of lows too. But they're still, like, for as inconsistent as they are, they're still, like, in those hushed tones of Platinum Games. Like, oh, Platinum Games is making this. We're interested now. And I feel like they don't have the consistent track record to necessarily merit that. but they have it still, and I don't know if this hurts them going forward. You know, I mean, people are, if Bayonetta 3 hits, then I guess that's the last thing they did, and they're fine.
Yeah,
but like when they do their next live service game, is it going to be from the studio that brought you Babylon's Fall? Here we go again.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, if Bayonetta 3 is good, and it seems like it's going to be good, a lot's going to be forgiven. I do think there's already been cracks in the reputation following this. And it's weird because they were just coming off of, I mean, Nier Automata was probably their biggest hit ever. Astral Chain was received pretty well. And so then,
but who talks about Astral Chain? It came out, it got some good reviews, and then
for what it is, Astral Chain did pretty well. It sold like over 2 million copies for that game. It did fine. I don't like it personally, but I think I'll defend Astral Chain. Astral Chain did all right, especially as kind of a teaser here for what could maybe happen with a Bayonetta 3. I mean, if you've seen that last Bayonetta 3 trailer, it looks pretty good. I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, could be fun.
So, but I don't know. I'm still pretty shocked that they actually are all full steam ahead on live service. I get it that if you have a hit in that genre, that is such a big deal. But I don't even know what they're looking to here to emulate. Like every game that tries to be a slasher looter, right? Like, what the hell was that one that launched with this generation that Gearbox published that also nobody cared about? I already forget its name. But
and then it got like a weird spin-off version that just put you at Endgame.
Yeah, like,
what was that called?
Godfall. Thank you. Like, there's that. There's like a couple of these that like seem to do okay from last generation. I remember. But it seems like there's a ceiling to these kind of games, and what Platinum does well just doesn't seem suited to live service at all.
No, and you have to unseat the top dog or at least get in that league. Like, you're not going to beat Fortnite, you're not going to beat any of the big battle royales, you're not going to beat Destiny or even Borderlands, really. Like, what do you unless you really are going to excel, and to do that, you need a shit ton of money to invest in the time to invest, and I don't know. I just don't see Platinum getting there.
Anybody remember Bleeding Edge, by the way? Remember the Ninja Theory made a hero-based, like team-based hero game, but it was hack and slash. Like, that came out like 2 years ago. I remember playing it at like E3 and thinking it was kind of fun, but that went absolutely nowhere. If that's still running, that would be actually pretty shocking. I can't imagine that's still getting content. Bleeding Edge. And again, that's from Ninja Theory, big studio. But again,
it was on Game Pass.
Yeah, they're the same thing though. They it's a team that specializes in like melee combat games. It's pretty hard to translate that to live service. So I don't know what they're thinking. We'll see what they do. I don't think they can go if they go new IP again, like they did with Bad Ones Fall. They gotta do something more enticing. Or I wonder if it is just.
But it seems like that's the reason they're gonna go more independent. Is that they don't want to be in other people's IP. They want their own IP.
Well, they don't. What IP do they have of their own right now? They have freaking Wonderful 101.
Wonderful 101.
They don't own Astral Chain. They don't own Bayonetta. They don't own Nier. That's for sure. They don't own Metal Gear.
Vanquish, Metal Gear. Yeah.
All their best games have been with other people's IP. So I have no idea what they're hoping to accomplish there. All right then. Next thing, AJ, I have here is actually about Need for Speed Unbound, finally getting officially revealed by Electronic Arts. This is launching on December 2nd for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. Criterion is developing this again, the old Burnout boys. This is their first Need for Speed game in almost a decade. AJ, this is the anime-ish inspired, like in terms of like effects and stuff, Need for Speed game that Jeff talked about on this show, and I think maybe his new show over at Giant Bomb months ago, a long time ago, and it's finally gotten announced.
What do you know? He was right again.
He was right. Well, not that I'm desperate for a W here, but yeah, this is the first look, it happened since the
I'll give it to you, okay?
Yeah. So, but here it is. This game was real, and even that stuff about the anime special effects. Oh, we say anime, you can almost say cartoon special effects, but you know what you mean. But yeah, basically like the character models, instead of being realistic, just they look like cartoon people. The cars are still cars, but there's like they light up really nice, and there's like effects on top of them that are sort of animated. It looks pretty cool. I'm not a big
Need for Speed guy. You got to give it that.
Yeah. Oh gosh, what's the last Need for Speed game I played? I think it was the one that launched like for PlayStation 4. That was a Criterion one that basically just kind of played like Burnout Paradise.
Was that the last Criterion one?
No, the last Criterion one was like 2013. Wait, maybe that's right. Maybe that's.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds about right.
I might almost.
I know everyone said Heat was pretty good. I never actually got around to playing it, but I've accepted that they're never going to make another Burnout, so this is what we get now. And I mean, I think it looks great because it differentiates itself from everything else that's out there. It doesn't look like Forza Horizon. It doesn't look like Burnout. It doesn't look like a Gran Turismo or anything. It looks like it has an identity, and that could make a world of difference in the racing genre, which can be crowded. So I'm looking forward to this. I think this could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. And I don't think there's a lot of racing game competition this year. Gran Turismo already happened.
They also they confirmed it's running at 4K 60 on PS5 and Series X.
Next gen only or current gen only, I guess, right? No last
I guess
gen
that'll mean
versions.
1080p 60 on Series S. So that's cool, and cross play and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm in.
Are you surprised they are announcing this so late? It's coming out in a couple months, and they didn't do it at any big show or anything.
Yeah, well, EA didn't really have any showcases this summer. I mean, what else does EA have coming out this year? Really?
I mean, there's that State of Play not too long ago. Maybe they could have just
they could have done like a partner event or something like that. Maybe I don't know. They just weren't ready to release this. They didn't know when they were going to, and then they realized they could have it ready for the holiday because. Anytime something gets that December time frame, I always feel like it was we could just get this out for holiday. We know we're going to be okay. Like it wasn't like necessarily the plan. Like if you're planning, you want to get out October, November.
So here this is. We all knew this was coming, but now we have it. We see it, and it looks pretty good. Why don't we read the super chats that we have so far? We got a few, and then we'll go Discord questions from Daily Beating here. Chris Melandandri had what looked an awful lot like your Arby's had in the background of his shot, Beef and Cheddar Boys Easter egg for sure. Did you notice this? Yeah, so during that, it looked a lot like the Arby's hat. And
so you know why it's there, right?
No.
Okay, so it's Pharrell Williams' hat, because he did the music for the Despicable Me movies.
Who's Pharrell Williams?
The happy guy.
Happy.
Yeah, that's his hat.
Yeah, it could be that, or
it definitely is.
Yeah, but instead of that, what if he just likes me specifically a lot, and he likes my Arby's?
Boys.
No, mostly me though. So he got the hat for that.
Because I mean, Pharrell Williams got shit for wearing that hat because everyone said he's, I'm thinking Arby's and everything. Like that was the meme for a while there. So
maybe he was thinking Arby's.
Whatever versus CPU he tweeted out like a little GIF of your head appearing there, and I mean, it looks just like the picture of you wearing that hat. It's very funny.
Yes. By the way, okay, so Dan Reichert lies about me all the time, and sometimes I'm a good boy. I play along with it. Whenever he makes his stream watch a bad movie, he blames it on me. Oh, this is Mike Minotti's favorite, or Mitch Minotti's favorite movie. He does right, all this stuff. Now he's trying to be like, oh yeah, Mitch loves the Minions. No, hell no. That's not gonna fly. I'm not letting this one happen. I do not like the Minions. I will not be called Mike Mignotti. These lies will not perpetuate and grow. They will stop here right now, or there will be consequences. Right. So thank you. Moving on here from KACL780. It was rumored. Cackle? Let's go Cackle 780. It was rumored instead of Mario plus Rabbids sequels, a Disney plus Rabbids game was first pitched. What would be your Disney plus Rabbids game pitch? Well, for my pitch would be, we'll do Disney plus Rabbids, then we'll get rid of the fucking Rabbids and put in the Nintendo characters back in there, and we'll have, right? There you go. Yeah, Mario plus Mickey Kingdom Battle. That's my pitch.
Yeah, that's a game.
But otherwise, I mean, we could do the exact same thing that they did with the Mario games. Although, I bet Disney, even like an energy arm cannon for Mickey, they'd be like, no. Mickey's not going to shoot.
We gave him a sword and had to make it look like a key. That was one step too far.
Like, maybe if they gave him, like, magic gloves, he shot, like, magic stuff out of Sorcerer Mickey, maybe they can get away with Mickey attacking people. And if they were very clear it was, like, robots or something, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think, Mickey's not going to fucking shoot anybody. The Axiom says, prediction. Right before Mario falls into Mushroom Kingdom, we will see him jumping over barrels, battling Donkey Kong. So I don't think maybe, but we know that
I think it's gonna be more grounded than that.
Yeah. Well, we know that Spike, or whatever his name is, like the foreman from Wrecking Crew, is in this movie, and Mario and Luigi are going to be plumbers or construction workers or something, working for Spike, and he's going to be, I don't know, somehow he's going to be working, and he finds a pipe that takes him to the Mushroom Kingdom for some reason.
Yep,
Something
I
like
agree.
that. I don't think, I don't know what, I think Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong are going to exist in, like, the Donkey Kong Kingdom or whatever you call it, right? Like,
Yeah, I think the game's setting us up for, like, there's these different biomes and worlds
Yeah.
and stuff.
Right, exactly. So they're going to be, like, in the jungle biome over there. I think that's how it's going to work. All right, that's it. Super chats for now. If you guys have any more super chats, please send them in. We will read them before the end of the show. AJ, I think you are actually ready to talk
I am ready.
about the Discord questions. Let's do it.
Yes. All right. Dr. Suss writes in first. He says, "Hey, Mike, couldn't get a woman to co-host this time. Minotti and AJ. Can't believe my brother talks about penises every week for a living, Minotti." It's true. I can't believe that. You need to knock
I think
that
you
shit
can.
off.
I think you can absolutely believe it.
The Mario trailer's out, and I thought it looked really good. I am now convinced Mario does have an ass, but he is clenching his buttocks because he is stressed. What games make you clench your buttocks with stress? I mean, like, a competitive shooter will certainly do that to me if it's getting to the end of the game, especially a battle royale. Like, when you get in, like, that, like, top four. Yeah, it's just pure butt clenching. You know, Mike, you have your issues with butt clenching when you're gaming that I know you have to handle.
Yes, but I don't know. My big one. What was that a reference to?
You have Crohn's.
Yes. Okay. I'm just making sure. To be clear, Crohn's doesn't mean that I'm always like constantly under the threat of shitting my pants at any time.
No, I know, but yeah, it's just butt jokes. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. There. You made a joke about my butt. You know, I'm a fraidy cat. So during Resident Evil 8, which wasn't too scary except for that one sequence in like the dollhouse with that giant baby fetus thing, that was pretty scary. So that part, or whatever, there was like a part where things were just too quiet for too long, and I knew the game was going to try to scare me soon. That's when I would get pretty tensed up.
All right, Dugan says, "Deciders, aka Mike, I'm the captain now, Minotti, and not Jeff. Immediate regret, Grubb. The streaming wars really seem to be kicking off. Do you think this will level the playing field to bring new players in? Do we see a fourth or fifth competitor join in, or do the big three just have too much market share at this point?" So here's my thought. The reason Stadia failed and everything else will be relatively okay is Stadia was like, this is it. You are gaming on Stadia, nowhere else. xCloud, GeForce Now, PlayStation Now, they are supplemental services where you're tapping into an existing library that is on a concrete device you have, and it's not your primary way of playing these games. It can be if you really wanted it to, but it's just a supplemental experience, and that's why I think this stuff can work.
I hate all the cloud streaming
you
stuff.
love the cloud. Yeah, let's hear it.
I don't know. I think they're all niche right now. I think they're all going to continue to be niche. And if they want to fight for who's the least niche, they can go for it.
Do you really not think in like 10, 15 years, we're not going to get to the point where that's just the way we get games?
No,
the way
not
we get movies?
Absolutely not that early. No way.
Really?
No.
How long do you think it takes?
Maybe 30.
Really?
I don't know. But even by then, who knows what else there is? It's just,
I mean,
the gaming
industry,
worse.
like, the gaming industry as we know it is like barely 30 years old. You really think it's going to take another 30 years to get there?
Yeah, because as long as it's slightly worse, people aren't going to want to do it. People are going to, with movies.
I don't see. I think within 10 years it won't be slightly worse. I think it'll be.
I think you're crazy.
Just as good, if not better.
I think you're absolutely.
Because here's my issue with all the cloud gaming services, except for GeForce Now, which is why it's my favorite one. Everyone says the promise of cloud is either your games everywhere or access to a library like Netflix. To me, the promise of cloud gaming is always having the latest hardware. You're subscribing to hardware in the cloud, and your games are always going to look the best they possibly can. That's why Stadia kind of sucked. Was they were trying to say, oh, if you add the teraflops of the Xbox and the PS4, we have more teraflops. It's like, but the Series X and PS5 are coming out in less than a year, and you don't look that good. And it just never competed graphically.
Let me put it to you this way. Do you really think in 10 years, Nintendo is going to have cloud streaming being its primary way of delivering games?
No, and I think there'll always still be the physical thing, but I think the way we have like the kind of the Series X and Series S exist side by side, I think we'll get to a point where there's like the Xbox Home and the Xbox Cloud, and they'll be functionally the same thing, but one is like if you want that machine under your TV, and you want like the same way you buy Blu-rays or you buy on iTunes.
I just remember when OnLive was a thing in like 2007 or whatever. Everyone's like, "Wow, this is great!" Like in 5 years, we'll all definitely be there. So no, I think I'm always going to be on Team Sell. I'm always going to be bearish about cloud streaming.
Fair enough. All right, Jimmy Nintendo writes, "Hey both, with the death of Overwatch 1, what is the most surprised you've ever been by a video game permanently turning off its online services?" Babylon's Fall is a funny one, just because it was so quick.
Yeah, that one happened very fast. That's interesting. Surprise is maybe not the word, because usually you see it coming. I guess, you know what? I mean, this is like real old, but Astron's Call 2 dying relatively fast.
That's a good one.
While Astron's Call 1 kept going.
Yeah, that's a good example, because it was a good game. I liked Astron's Call 2, and they just kind of killed it.
Well, it had that weird thing where there were like no NPCs or something like that. I don't know. It didn't quite work. I liked Astron's Call 1 okay. As somebody who was playing MMOs very casually, mostly just running around and had no idea what I was really supposed to do, like I had fun with it. Dark Age of Camelot was better.
City of Heroes shutting down was another sad moment too, because it was like then we got like City Champions. It was like just worse City of Heroes.
It lasted for a pretty Champions Online.
Champions Online, yeah.
Yeah, it lasted long enough though. It had its time. Next.
Okay. Mr. Bowler says, "Hey AJ and AJ's kid brother." I like these.
Don't call me his kid brother.
A question for AJ. What was the time Mike got the most mad because you beat him in a video game? Okay, I have a good recent example.
Recent example.
Recent-ish. So this was this was when Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu came out. And we're doing a battle. We decided, okay, let's do it. Let's throw our teams at each other. We were both like about the same level. And it came down to the end, and I had my Pikachu out, and you had like a Golem or something, like some kind of ground Pokemon. So you're like, haha, in the bag, because you have an electric type. Not realizing that because it was Let's Go Pikachu, they like gave him moves of every type. So I go first because Pikachu's faster, and I use this move called Splishy Splash that just hit you with a wave and one shot at you. And I just never get. You just got super quiet for like a good minute, and just went Splishy Splash. Okay,
fucking.
Don't know how I feel about that.
Splishy Splash. I'm not a fan of like the super ridiculous dual types already. Like that's the point. There's a rock paper scissors mechanic to Pokemon. I should have already won that fight. I had a ground type against your electric type. It's bullshit. If you could just also use a water move, how the fuck would an electrified rat be able to splash me with water? It's fucking bullshit. Fucking Splishy Splash. I'm justified being mad. That was fucking stupid. That game's bad, actually. Now I think about, yeah.
Actually. All right. Pwom's Fortress says, "Dear Mike, Isle Delfino Dweller Minotti, and AJ Atomic Jazz Minotti." Ooh, I like that.
You had your obnoxious jazz phase. I remember it. We're talking about embarrassing things.
I had a very obnoxious jazz phase.
It was very obnoxious.
Let's see.
What are you, a guy from that one dude's movies who makes all the movies about white people talking about how great jazz is? What's that guy? The Whiplash guy. All his movies, I guess I've always seen two of them, but they're all about white people. There's always a scene where white people talk about how powerful jazz is, and I kind of like just do this the whole time.
I just like the movie The Cotton Club when I was in high school, okay?
All right, that's fine.
All right. What's a nice thing someone's done for you lately, other than guest hosting this pod? I mean, love you all.
Who's the guy who made that thread on the Reddit?
Yeah,
page?
on the Reddit.
The subreddit for Giant Bomb saying, "I'm the MVP." How about that? Right? All those fuckers in New York forgot to invite the MVP. Apparently,
that's right. What do you? I should be running the show tonight.
What a sham Giant Bomb was on, right?
Seriously.
Can you believe that? I mean, it's got. I'll tell you. Look, it got a lot of upvotes, and people are saying I'm the MVP of Giant. I don't even fucking work there, so yeah, that was pretty nice of him. Oh, there's somebody. I will say somebody recently. Somebody has been getting me Guardians tickets, and that's
I was just gonna say we're going to a baseball game tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's been very nice. I don't know how much you wanted to be there. Like, I don't know if you wanted me to listen, but that's been very nice.
Yeah, that's a good one. Jamie H1224, I think that's Christmas Eve. By the time the podcast is up, we'll have seen the Mario teaser. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being underwhelming, 5 being what you were expecting, and 10 being exceeded expectations. How did you feel about it and your faith in the movie now? I mean, we're talking purely based on expectations. I'm like at a 7. Like it was actually kind of better than I was thinking it was going to be.
Yeah, maybe a 7, maybe an 8. I actually really like the trailer.
Yeah, it was a good trailer. the thing that got me the most jazzed, like I said, I think it's the characterization of Bowser. I like that he's
Yeah.
like a threatening bad guy, not like a goofball.
Yeah, I mean, I have very little doubt that that is going to be a movie I enjoy. I'll say that much. I bet I will have fun watching that movie.
As someone who enjoyed both Sonic movies and Detective Pikachu a lot, I am sure I will enjoy this too.
Detective Pikachu was mid.
I like Detective Pikachu.
It was a mid.
Danger Man Leet says, "Heh, both. With the announcement that the new Witcher trilogy will have 3 releases within 6 years, I do wonder if it's akin to Hitman, World of Assassination, or the Total War Warhammer trilogies, where eventually it can combine in a mega game of sorts with them simply building on the game, then rebuilding every other sequel. I wonder if other developers will take note of this model." I mean, I'm going to guess that these 3 games will be more similar. Like, when you look at the original Witcher trilogy, they're 3 very different games on different engines. Like, the first Witcher is an isometric action RPG.
Well, that one's very different. I thought Witcher 2 was pretty similar to 3. I didn't play it.
It is and it isn't. It's not as open. They patched it after release to have the combat of 3 kind of when 3 was about to come out. It was strange. But I feel like with Witcher 3, they kind of figured out what they want to make, and that's just the model going forward.
All right, everyone.
So I'm sure like they'll have like the tool set and everything, and they'll just kind of build off of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's weird because it sounds like didn't it make it sound like only they announced so many games there. It sounded like only one of the Witcher ones CD Projekt Red was making right away, and then there were some others. They described the one spinoff as an open world RPG, which is just what Witcher 3 was already. So I don't understand how that differentiates it. I don't know. I found that whole thing bizarre. Okay, everybody in chat is like, "Whoa, Detective Pikachu is so good." Mike, take that back. You tell me the name of that main human character of your favorite movie. AJ, you like that? What's his name? What's the name of the main character?
It just went out. Tim. There it is.
Is it really Tim? That's funny.
Yeah.
That is a name. Shit. I was hoping you didn't know. I should have made chat answer first before you gave it away. I was so certain you didn't know. Ash. People were saying Ash. It's Tim. Yes. Okay, fine.
Fake Sully.
The movie is very okay. All right. You know what's funny is Rebecca also said she liked it on Tuesday. Yeah. I let her get away with it. I wasn't going to say anything, but I wasn't going to let you get away with it.
I was going to say, you guys think Mike's mean to Jeff. I mean, he has no filter with me.
No. Well, you're a piece of shit. Next.
I know. One Up versus CPU says, "Hey, Mike, Chris Melandandri stole my Arby's hat Minotti, and AJ grubbing one out Minotti."
Nice.
I'm interested in getting Tactics Ogre Reborn, but I'm kind of scared to after Chrono Cross and the Pixel remasters. Have you been keeping an eye on this? Will SE break their remaster curse? This one, I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
I don't know. I think it's going to be better off anyways, just because it's not a 3D game, at least. So Chrono Cross, like all those PlayStation 1 games, for some reason, their idea of remastering that is like making the 3D models like less jaggy. And then like having these blurry, bad-looking, pre-rendered backgrounds still, and like changing the text on the font for some reason that looks worse. So like their philosophy for the 3D games is just bad. For the 2D games, it's not great either a lot of the time. But at least like on this one, it's like, oh, why are they doing sprite smoothing? That's stupid. It doesn't seem. As
I don't know why they're so. Why are they so terrified of pixels? Like. Pixels are popular. Look at any indie game in the last 15 years.
Well, it's weird because like
pixels.
They release some stuff that's just like fully embraces that, like Live Alive or Live Alive, and I mean they literally called the recent remasters of Final Fantasy games the pixel remasters, but even then they felt this need to kind of do more work in terms of redesigning those pixels than they needed to. I don't know. There's somebody high up at Square Enix who has an aversion to pixels, clearly, and doesn't understand how like they're so jaggedy.
Yeah, but if you want to play Tactics Ogre, this is probably going to be the best way to play it. So
I think it'll probably be fine. But hey,
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be fine. But I look, there's so many of these kind of JRPGs or tactics games to play right now. I don't blame you for waiting for the reviews and waiting to see what people say.
Yep. Hosp says, "Heyo, Messnotties. As Jeff is not here, I want to know what would be your dream Disney game to be made, and who would make it."
I mean, didn't what was it Way Forward that pitched like that
a Darkwing Duck game?
Someone pitched a Darkwing Duck game. Somebody also pitched like basically it looked like a new Quack Shot at one point also.
Yeah, and
that looked really really good. So honestly, a Quack Shot spiritual successor done by like Way Forward or even Dotemu or somebody like that, like Tribute Games. That would be incredible, and maybe make it an actual Metroidvania this time. Actually, I don't know, because the globetrottingness was really cool in that one, but just kind of expand upon it. I love Quackshot on the Genesis. That's a great game.
I always thought this is an idea I had like a long time ago, so maybe it doesn't hold as much water. But I always thought it'd be cool to make like an Aladdin game in the style of Prince of Persia, where you just have like this open city Agrabah, and it's just like you're just being Aladdin, like before the movie, just like you gotta steal some bread and you gotta like do some stuff.
I guess so. At that point, that's like so similar to Prince of Persia already. I could just play Prince of Persia.
Right, that's the problem with it, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
But also, I do want a new Darkwing Duck game, like real bad, because that'd be awesome.
If I had like an actual Rocketeer game set in like old timey Hollywood, and you could actually fly around Los Angeles and Hollywood in a rocket
there we
pack.
Go. Let's get the studio who made Anthem to make the Rocketeer game.
The studio who made Anthem, who could they be?
Well, but the BioWare, but the part of BioWare, I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Screaming Madden says, "Hello, Minotti Bros. I've started playing Return to Monkey Island, and while I'm really liking it, it got me thinking. What do you think is next for Terrible Toy Box after the critical success of Return to Monkey Island? Are we going to get the gritty reboot of Putt Putt, or perhaps something else?"
Yeah, they're going to. I bet they and Ron Gilbert are going to make a new Maniac Mansion. I bet that's 90%.
That would be the ideal, and that'd be awesome.
Happen.
Yeah,
I think that's very, very likely, and I'll be very excited for that. There's a part of me that, like, in the past, he said like how Day of the Tentacle isn't really the game he would have made, and how he doesn't like that art style. And I like Day of the Tentacle. Like, Day of the Tentacle means a lot more to me than Maniac Mansion does. What Ron Gilbert is going to make is going to be very much Maniac Mansion.
Maniac Mansion 2.
Right. And it'll have, like, Bernard in it. And it's not going to act like Day of the Tentacle didn't happen. That's for sure. But but still, I think, absolutely, if they are happy with Return to Monkey Island, and I bet they are, then they're going to absolutely let him just make a game in a franchise that, frankly, has less, like, name value, so it's even less of a risk.
Do you think they can go original IP again? Is that going to work?
I don't know. Real quick, so people are saying that Quackshot, it was an April Fool's, but it was April Fool's that was actually a pitch, was FDG Entertainment, who did Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. So thanks for clearing that one out. Wait, what did you just ask me? I forgot immediately.
Like, if they went original IP, would it work? Or like I feel bad because like people are always like, oh, like this game, if you like old school LucasArts adventure games, this new game that just came out will be right up your alley. And I play them, I'm like,
did you like Thimbleweed
I'm
Park?
not vibing on it. I don't think I ever actually played Thimbleweed Park.
I did play through Thimbleweed Park on Switch, and that one's fun because it like is very much like an old Scum LucasArts adventure game. It even has the verbs and all that, and it even has like multiple characters, so it has a little bit of that Maniac Mansion vibe. So Thimbleweed Park was good, and it did pretty well, especially when it came to
right. But I
Switch.
have to ask myself, like, if Return to Monkey Island was like another game, like like an original game, and it wasn't Guybrush Threepwood, but it was the same puzzles, would I like it as much? I don't think
you wouldn't.
I
wouldn't.
Yeah,
no, and that's fair. Like you said, there's a million of these things that come out. There's a million of them that are supposed to be good that I never played, like the Broken Sword game and Sword games, and even the Gabriel Knights I've been touched. So sure, if I love these games that much, like I say I do, and I mean it, I would just go back and play all of those. But no, what I really
think about nostalgia there, yeah.
But I am specifically interested in seeing like what does Ron Gilbert's next Maniac Mansion look like. And I think that's what we're gonna get. I don't think. I mean, maybe he does a new Putt Putt someday, sure, but I don't think that's what Disney was gonna want him to do.
No, I think Maniac Mansion is the likely answer.
Yep.
Beefhammer says, "Happy Thursday. Mike wants the MSABK merger to go through so he doesn't have to pay for Diablo 4. Minotti."
I'm not going to pay
AJ
for Diablo 4.
replacement
Do you know
number
who
one,
I
Jim
am?
Ryan fan Minotti. Yeah, he doesn't pay for games. AJ replacement number one, Jim Ryan fan Minotti, if you say so. Does the demise of Stadia make you appreciate how good the big three consoles are now? Usual complaints are stuff like the eShop is slow, the Xbox game recording isn't good, or the PS5 is big and looks a bit weird, compared to Stadia, where it got a fraction of the games without anything exciting like a big exclusive or Game Pass. Yeah, I've said this before. This is, for as much as people like to bitch, this has been the best time to be a gamer ever. It's an embarrassment of riches right now. All three consoles are phenomenal. There's incredible games coming out constantly. It's an incredible time in gaming, and we should all be enjoying it.
Yeah, it's great. I actually got an Xbox Series S today. So, I think yesterday I literally said to you, I kind of wish I had a Series S, just so I can easily keep one right by my desk and plug it into my capture card. Because specifically, I'm thinking about tomorrow when the Street Fighter 6 beta goes live, and I'm in there, and I want to play it, but I'd also like to stream it, but I don't want to like lug over my Xbox Series X over here, and then not have it by my couch, because that's what I use to watch like YouTube and stuff in my living room. But so I was like, if only I had a Series S, maybe I should invest one. And then immediately that night, Wario 64 that tweet where Target has some kind of like sale going on, and it was $50 off, and you get an extra free controller. I was like, well, hot damn, let's go. So
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, actually, a couple months ago, I traded in my 1X and 1S, and that gave me more than enough to get a Series S that I got for the kids to just be upstairs for them. It's an incredible machine. It's so good.
It is. It's actually
$300. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost kind of neat, just like taking this little thing out. Like 2 seconds later, like it's 2 cables. It's so easy to plug in.
Were you like legitimately like? Were you surprised like just how small it is? Like once you have it in hand.
I think I've been prepared for it now, but it still is. Okay. It's neat. It's a handsome little machine. Every time I see, especially that red circle, I think about the time they sent an early one to Jeff, and he just had it hanging out behind his camera, like you think no one was supposed to know he had it.
Yeah,
somebody noticed it in chat and pointed it out. He's like, "Oh no, that's that thing."
But like to go back to the Stadia thing too, like so much of their pitch was, you don't have to buy an expensive box. Everything you need is just in your web browser. And it's like, look, if you're gonna actually play like Street Fighter 6 or like something like that high end, and you can't justify buying a $300 box to get into that, you were never going to play games of that caliber, and you didn't need Stadia. You needed your phone if you were going to play games. So, again, the whole Stadia technology gap was the issue there, too, I think. But, yeah.
That water went down the wrong pipe. Oh, I'm not...
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I'm not enjoying my gaming.
No. Wait. Here, I still have the can, Mike. It's okay. Here.
What do you
get the vibes of the Zoa?
Mana, I need your mana. Help me. AJ.
It's not working.
How about I go and clear my throat? We're going to take a little break, maybe go to the potty, and we come back, and if I'm still alive, we're going to read the rest of these podcast producers' questions. We got some more super chats. We're going to talk about our gameplay experience with Overwatch 2. How does it sound?
Okay. That sounds great.
All right, everyone. We'll be right back. All right, G, you can entertain.
Also,
I can't believe.
Also, take a potty break. Christian, you entertain chat.
Yeah, okay. I can't believe Mike didn't got that KLCA Frasier reference. Incredible. He didn't got that reference.
It has been. I love Frasier, but I also watched it in like 2007. It's been a hot second. I'll be right back.
Excuses.
Also, I didn't mean to flash you guys with the side there. Contain yourself with the love handles.
All right, this is the Sean Christian show now. What's up, everyone?
Yeah, let's talk about the Street Fighter.
Hell yeah!
We talk about
that beta that we can't get into. Fuck
yeah,
you, Mike.
We can't get in, and some other people got in. They don't even like those games. To me, it's nuts.
It feels like that's everyone. Like that's the FGC right now. Is everyone's like, y'all got any of those beta codes? Nope, just my normie friend down the street got one. Okay,
it seems
cool.
It's only PS5 that's going on. I thought it was going to be PC too.
No, it's on everything. You can choose your platform.
Oh, you can choose your platform? I thought it was PS5.
Yeah. No, whichever one you select for your Capcom ID when you like link it to the beta.
Listen here, you young whippersnappers. I was playing Street Fighter 2 when you weren't even a twinkle in your daddy's eyes. So
I doubt that. I doubt
Listen,
that.
I've definitely been. We have both definitely been playing Street Fighter longer than you, though.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Total hours accumulated? Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
I got like what 505 and like.
How old are you?
Me, 38.
Oh yeah. Damn, he has 7 years on us.
Yeah, I mean he's got that on us, but you know.
Yeah, listen, I am old. There. So take that.
Not that old. Come on.
Thank you.
You're officially a Jeff villain, you know.
I am young
whippersnappers
for me.
Beef Hammer, you shut up. Saying I'm the number one Street Fighter fan. Get the fuck out of here.
He's the number one Street Fighter 5 fan. Uncharted Wolf, my favorite game of all time, is as of this moment, it's Final Fantasy 14. Like that's how much I like Final Fantasy 14.
That's a good one.
It's a very naughty answer.
It blows me away. I mean, aside from that, like my top 5 also comprises of Grim Fandango, Half-Life 2, Skyrim, and Breath of the Wild. So that's my 5.
There's Minotti.
But
yeah, 14 is incredible. We were talking about favorite games in the Discord the other day, and we did top 25. I was like, you know what? 14 actually is up there. Like, it's my comfort food game. It's why I always
Mhm.
play when I like don't know what I'm in the mood for. I'm like, you know what? I'm a little behind in the story. I'm gonna just log in and see what's up.
Yeah, like I like where I am now because like I'm caught up with the the story stuff obviously, and like sometimes I log in and I do I'm working on the Hildebrand stuff. I'm leveling up a white mage now, but I'm also at the point too like if I don't play for a couple of days, like I don't feel awful about it, like the way World of Warcraft makes you feel like useless if
Yeah.
you missed anything. Um, so I like that about it a lot. And it's nice that we have a really good free company that we're in that is like a really cool social hangout, and I like them a lot, and like they make the game fun. They do like giveaways, and we have a nice free company house and everything.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a good time. I like that game a lot. It was also fun because the way I played it when I really finally kind of knuckled down, into it last summer, Mike was already ahead of me and had finished it, and I was catching up. So like he'd be doing his like end game stuff or whatever, and I'd be going through the MSQ, and then I'd like hit a dungeon or a trial. I'd be like, "Hey Mike, like, you want to queue up in this dungeon with me?" Yeah. So he'd join my party, level sync, and then he'd kind of like guide me through it a little bit, so I didn't have to go in completely blind every time. Like that was just super fun because it was like a super fun co-op way that we got to experience the Final Fantasy game together, and he would always kind of subtly guide me like you do like the Susanoo fight where he does the giant sword strike and one person has to block it for the rest of the party. It's like a QTE, but like he made sure like I got in position to do that. So like I feel like this badass like holding up my axe, like blocking this giant sword. And I'm like, this is so good.
I love
That's good.
It's good. All right, we're back. Hey, we're 4 away from being at 100 likes. So 4 of you push that like button. And
yeah, let's do
it. 4
Hit
and more, actually. Let's go.
4 and more.
All right, I'm gonna bring us back in. Sean, did you actually go in and copy my picture for this just so you to add in the episode number and then paste it back in there? Good on you. Good job. All right.
Sorry, did you on Mike?
What's that?
I just heard you on the YouTube. Did you need some?
No, I was just wondering. Did you add that number into the thumbnail? Because I didn't do that.
All I did was I took the exact thumbnail and then just updated the header to include the number and have the logo slightly
Good
different.
job. Look at you go.
Thank you. I try hard. Okay.
Hey, look, Christopher's in chat. Okay.
Oh God.
I'm gonna bring.
You had your chance.
I'm gonna bring us back in. All right, I'm still alive. AJ, read more questions.
All right, from Mario's ass is missing.
Man,
Hello.
that'd be so funny. We had Mario is missing, and we kept
we
trying
played
to play
a lot, and we were bad at it.
It was
we were very bad at it.
It was like a bunch of like world history questions, and like
and we didn't have the internet. Like it was awful.
Yeah, we didn't have an encyclopedia either.
He or she writes, "Hello, AJ, Maminotti's favorite son." It's true, Minotti, and Mike.
Yeah, maybe it's that
shame on the Minotti name. Mike brought shame on the Minotti name with false promises of Wind Waker. Minotti says he is dead to her. Minotti.
Yeah.
You guys just it's been for all of us Minottis ever since that happened.
Yeah,
everywhere we go, people just spit at us and say, "Oh, we know who you are, Minotti."
I've just searched the family. There's so many Minottis in Rome right now. They're just so confused why people are throwing rotten tomatoes at them.
It's awful.
They go, "Oh, Mamma Mia!" And they go, "Hey, there's a Wind Waker." They go, "What the fuck?" And it's a Wind Waker. Yeah, I'm allowed to do that. I'm an Italians. Yeah, it's okay. All right, AJ, what's this question?
All right, if you were tasked with choosing a video game character to be your brother's roommate for a month, who would you choose? Now, the polite answer would be Daisy. The mean answer would be Wario. So I'm gonna avoid the extremes. So let's find some middle ground here, and I'm gonna have you live with Diddy Kong.
Oh, that's gross.
You know why, Mike?
I don't like monkeys. You know that.
But what is Diddy Kong's? Is it his down B?
The banana peel. That's awful. No, I think I'd rather be roommates with Waluigi than Diddy Kong. That's gross. I was gonna be nice to you. I hope that your roommate is. I don't know. I hope your roommate's the Great Mighty Pooh from Conker's Bad Fur Day. There, fuck you. I hope you live with a shit monster.
Oh yeah,
a literal shit monster.
What was the nice one? Just out of curiosity.
Fuck you. You don't get a nice one. I don't know. Mario. There, you don't get Mario now.
That's boring.
And not Chris Pratt Mario. Well, that's what you're gonna get. Boring but safe. Yeah. Now you get the great piece of shit. You have to throw toilet paper at him until he dies. He's gonna sing at you.
That's fine. Velocity Prime 1 says, "Dear Mike and theoretically cooler Mike," that's right, I am theoretically cooler. Now that it is officially spooky season, what is the scariest moment in a video game? Doesn't have to necessarily be a horror theme game. Mine was a dead hand in Ocarina of Time. I've done more gruesome stuff later, but that whole bottom of the well at 8 was totally nerve shredding. It's still the dogs in Resident Evil. That scared the hell out of me as a kid, and I never finished the game because of it.
I actually got for some reason I still remember this was playing Half-Life 1, which most people don't necessarily think of as a horror game. Well, at the time it kind of did have that reputation. It sort of fell away when like Half-Life 2 was much more not that. But it was kind of a scary game. I remember there was one particular head crab jump scare in a vent somewhere that just absolutely destroyed me, and I still think about how much it scared me. Like I forget, you just like turn a corner in this vent. There's just a crab right there. There's nothing you can do about it. It just makes that noise and it jumps right at you. Freaked the hell out of me.
That's it. Belated birthday, Bop. Is it your birthday? Is that why your name's Belated Birthday, Bop?
It's a belated birthday. We don't actually have to wish him anything. Don't worry.
Okay, that's fine. Happy Thursday, Mike. Alien Encounters #1 fan Minotti.
Not
and
true.
AJ Epcot 2001's #1 fan Minotti. I'm actually Alien Encounters #1 fan. No one likes the wand.
No one likes the wand. That's true. I never went on Alien Encounter.
Says,
No way.
Had to pull out the deep cuts for 2/3 of the 90s Disney boys. Thank you. We're on day 3 of Overwatch 2. We've already hit the point where people are actually starting to retroactively defend loot boxes. Is this just revisionist history?
No, the loot boxes were always fine in Overwatch. They were always fine. They were only ever cosmetics. You got them for free if you played a bunch. They were always fine. I'm sorry, continue.
Because my friend and I hated loot boxes and prefer a store system, albeit the current economy needs to be tweaked, but I'm sure that will change as all free-to-play markets start aggressive. And as all free-to-play markets start aggressive and then tone it back after, quote, listening to the community.
Yeah.
What are y'all's thoughts? Thanks as always, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Yeah, I mean...
Well, you know which one
there's a happy middle ground, right?
Yeah, you know which one hasn't toned anything back? Like, Diablo Immortal got a ton of shit, but they didn't actually, change the shop at all. Even at this point now where it feels like nobody talks about that game anymore, are people even playing that game? But it seems like nothing ever actually changed there with that. So
yeah, because I always said, like, when they release some story content, maybe I'll go back to it, and they are. I don't care. I don't need to play Diablo Immortal anymore. I'll wait for Diablo 4 at this point.
Or I'll play Diablo 2 again, if anything.
So this is the weird thing about Overwatch 2, I guess, is when taken on its merit as just a free-to-play shooter in the current free-to-play shooter market, it's doing what everyone else is doing. Skins for $20, Battle Pass for 10. It's nothing unusual. It's just that we're comparing it to Overwatch 1, when you could grind out these loot boxes and maybe get the skin you wanted. But, people, it is rose-colored glasses. How many holiday events where there was, like, a couple Christmas skins I really wanted, and I'd be like, okay, let's just drop $40 in loot boxes, fuck it, and I'd get all these loot boxes and still didn't get the skins I wanted. Like, that felt awful. Now, at least I got something. And now, like, I look at my collection, I don't remember what I got and when I got it. I just have this stuff. So that's cool, I guess. I
mean, I would occasionally drop $10 on like some loot boxes, and maybe I get something cool, maybe not. But I played enough that I really was getting enough gold from duplicates or from loot boxes that if an event happened, and there would probably be 1 or 2 skins I would ever want at most, I would be able to get them. I was always pretty much covered. Now, granted, maybe it was because I was relatively picky, and I also didn't care nearly as much about things like highlight intros or like the other cosmetics like sprays or what have you, so I didn't have to waste a lot of money on those.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem too. Like in the battle pass, like you unlock a spray, who cares, like whatever. But I feel like if they would have at least had a better way of earning stuff for free, aside from what did people say, like 8 months of weekly grinding 100% to get a legendary, like that's no good. Like, that's so far away, like, you're never going to try for that. Maybe it'll inadvertently happen a couple of years from now. Be like, oh, look at that, I have enough gold to buy a skin, I guess. But, like, it doesn't feel like you're going to be able to actually achieve that by just playing.
What's Christian upset about? I don't think I ever said it was a free game. I know it was a game you had to pay money for. Did I say it was a free game? No, that's not what I meant. You know what I mean? I meant the loot boxes.
Yes.
What's next?
Jayton says, hello, 2/3 of the Minotti brothers. My question is actually for AJ. Can you do any impressions of a fictional character like how Mike can impersonate Toad?
Oh, AJ's much better at that than I am. Toad's all I got.
You know some of my voices, Mike. What do I got? I'm trying to think. I'm on the spot now. And
I like your King panicking. Candy from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, yes, have some candy, everybody.
There you go. That was pretty good.
I could do that one, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
If I get in the right mood, I could hit Ren from Ren and Stimpy, okay. $47 million. Okay. I'm the cat. See, I'm the cat. Nothing, Rover. Go back to your doghouse.
That's pretty good.
Finally, yeah, it's not bad. So there you go. Winnie says, are the Kongs part of the Mushroom Kingdom? Doesn't Donkey Kong take place in New York? Where is Donkey Kong Country on a map?
Well, Donkey Kong took place in New York. Donkey Kong Country, which is playing pretty fast and loose with the
geography.
The lore, I guess. Look, there's not much of an established lore. Donkey Kong Country takes place in Donkey Kong Country, appears to be an island. And you can, that's its own kingdom/biome. And I imagine, like, again, we already saw, like, the Bowser people fighting the Penguin people, and they had their castle, and they had their castle. And then we have the Mushroom Kingdom. It's going to be a little bit like Odyssey. There's going to be all these different kingdoms. And, like, Donkey Kong's area will probably be like that. If the Cranky Kong thing is what gives that away, it's going to be very Donkey Kong Country. And again, I think people are right when, well, that seems like you don't just pay Seth Rogen to be Donkey Kong in a bit part. Maybe, I guess maybe you could, but it seems like that probably could easily lead into.
You do if you're going to then make the Donkey Kong Country movie next, but you're creating that.
I'm not saying that, but I guess he would. I guess he was just like a fucking little grasshopper in the Kung Fu Panda movies. I guess he could play a bit role in an animated movie. It's happened before.
I mean, that was still a primary character. But yeah,
he had like 5 lines in the first one.
No, he had more than that.
7.
Trust me, I've watched these movies recently.
I've seen Kung Fu Panda quite a bit. It's actually a fantastic movie.
Oh, yeah, they're great movies, all 3 of them. All right, Octo. Did I say it? Octo. Octo. Yo, Mike, Chris Pratt, Simp Minotti, and AJ, my brother is a Chris Pratt Simp Minotti.
You're so proud.
Have you ever kickstarted anything or the equivalent? Any highs, any lows?
Yeah.
I'm a very proud backer of Rimworld and FTL. Also canceled my Godis pledge when that one started to stink immediately. Ain't fooling me again, Molly. Oh, Goddess. God. Goddess, I forgot about that. So, funny story about this, actually. I kickstarted a point-and-click adventure game of all things called, let me find the email real quick. It's right here. Space Venture... or Guys from Andromeda Space Venture. Okay. I backed this on Kickstarter, like when Kickstarter was new. So how long ago was that? And I just got it like a couple weeks ago.
You're gonna play
it? I haven't claimed it yet. Well, because Return to Monkey Island just came out. What am I gonna play this for? Yeah, but here, I'm in my Kickstarter account right now. This was the 5th thing I ever backed on Kickstarter, and that was in June of 2012. So it took over 10 years to get this game back on Kickstarter. But here, since I got it up, I have backed on Kickstarter Double Fine Adventure, which became Broken Age.
That was a little. Like, let's talk about because that one was a little disappointing. Even I never even played part 2 of
I didn't either. That was the problem. Like by the time part 2 came out, I kind of like fell off it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna pick this back up. I played through part 1. I liked it. I just never finished part 2. I should do that maybe. Auditorium 2, Wasteland 2, The Banner Saga. That's a cool game.
People like that one.
Republic, that was a good game. Then there's Space Venture. I Am Big Bird, which is a documentary about Carol Spinney, who played Big Bird. That was good. I backed Jeff Kanata's new show that he did after Totally Rad Show was done. I had to back the Penny Arcade podcast because they used me at PAX in the video to pitch the Kickstarter for it.
Very cool.
Which was weird. I backed Armacrog, which is the spiritual successor to, what's that game Dave likes? The claymation one.
Oh, yeah, Neverhood. That's right.
Yes,
like
Neverhood.
That one as much.
I backed Retro, a new retro gaming magazine, Kung Fury, which was that movie that everyone got excited about that was just okay. Outerland Season 1, which was the follow-up thing from the guys who did the 1-Up show. Table Titans book. Amplitude, which was from Harmonix. The Pebble, which was the first smartwatch that had an e-ink display. That thing was great until I got an Apple Watch. The Bard's Tale 4, Penny Arcade's Automata, the Meter Probe, which is a wireless thermometer that I use with my barbecue.
AJ likes it. AJ does way more of this than I do.
Where the Heck is Matt, which was a guy on YouTube who just danced around the world, and I just kicked him somebody to do another one. That was fun. Secret Hitler, which is a board game that I've never gotten to play because my friends don't play board games. The Satisfy Grip for my Switch, which I have the newest version of for my Switch OLED I really like. The Flip Grip, which is the one that holds your Switch vertically.
The Ikaruga stand.
Adapter. Yes, exactly. And the Pinball Effect stand. The Genki Audio Bluetooth adapter for Switch, which works very well. The Jumpgate dock, which is just a portable dock for my Switch. The Shadowcast, which
how many more of these are there?
I'm almost done. There's 3 more. The Shadowcast from Genki, which lets you, it goes into the HDMI port of something, but then comes out of a USB-C cable, and then you could connect to some software. And it's basically a capture card, but it's just that. Consequences, which was a comic book written by Christian Spicer, and Rock Runners Inc., which is a card game by Scott Johnson. So there's my Kickstarters. I also am a backer of what's the space game that made it all the money and is never coming out?
That stupid thing. Yeah, whatever. I thought you were a coolest guy or whatever that cooler was. Did you get one of those or back that?
No, I never was one of those. I never ended up going for it.
Good for you. I mean, look, my worst one was fucking Mighty Number 9, which was just awful.
Star Citizen, that's the one.
Well,
Thank you.
There's sometimes there's like some gentle like, well, was Mighty Number 9 that bad? Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yes, it absolutely fucking was. It was terrible. Yeah, I hated that thing. I haven't done nearly as much as you, but way more card games than I thought. I think the last thing I really backed was that Steven Universe card game. There you go. All right, next.
All right, Crangus McBasketball says, hello, Mike. Persona 4 is the same game as Persona 4 Gold and Minotti. And AJ, the brother of a guy who thinks Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden are the same game, Minotti. Redfall is potentially due in March. Where does this leave Starfield, and when do you think we'll get a date? I mean, I would have put it in May, but I don't think they'll go up against Zelda, so maybe like later in June. That'd be nice.
I have such a
April. Maybe they go April. I
have such a hard time even thinking about Redfall. I don't know why. Nothing about the pitch for that game has been doing anything for me.
Well, what hurts Redfall is we had a kind of weird glut of all these like 4v.
Right. But they say they're not that, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
They say that's
sure
not
looks
that.
Like it.
It sure looks like that.
Sure looks like it.
So, oh my god, Chris.
Oh yeah, Chris. That was a funny thing because I forget where you and Krista were dating, engaged. I don't think you were married yet, but we were all having dinner, and we didn't realize this was like a secret from her that you spent $100 to back the Ouya and Kickstarter. So we were like, Chris, what are you getting your Ouya? And she's like, you're getting your what? And he just turns to her and goes, have you ever heard of Kickstarter?
Well, and we said how much it cost. That's why she was indignant, I think he said.
Yeah.
Somehow she knew he spent $100 on something called an Ouya. And it didn't go over very well. What are we talking about?
Dates for is Redfall just a Left 4 Dead clone? And they say it's not, but it sure looks like it.
I don't think it is. I think it might actually be more of like a looter shooter. I don't know. So everything about its vibe just isn't doing much for me. But
I think Redfall and Starfield are different enough, and they're Game Pass anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No, I don't think
relatively close to each other.
I think that as long as it's like 4 months apart from each other, I don't think they're going to care, and it'll be more.
I'd love to get Starfield sooner than later, so I'm going to optimistically say April because I want to play Starfield.
Sure, that's right. Isn't that weird that is a game that was supposed to come out about a month from now?
Yeah, 11/11. Now we're getting God of War instead.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Yeah. Turbo Sean says, happy Thursday, Mike. Currently looking at 25 to life for the disappearance of Jeff Grubb Minotti. And AJ loves it when Mike talks like this Minotti. I'm sure plenty of people are going to ask you, wonderful Italian gentlemen, how you feel about Chris Pratt's portrayal of the Gabagool or whatever. But I thought I'd take advantage of this rare cool Minotti sighting to get to know our new, totally permanent co-host better, since Jeff definitely won't be perishing down from heaven, scratch that, getting shot out of a cannon up from hell.
He will be. I just want to say, I'm very concerned about Jeff's ability or inability to say
not die
no.
in New York City.
No, he's whatever Dan Reichert, that maniac, wants him to do, Jeff does it. He almost fucking died in that Gizmo outfit. He's just walking on a street. They didn't send like a handler out with them. He's just walking in the street in an inflatable Gizmo outfit. He can't see it. Why is he on the street? And at one point he goes into the bike lane and just completely almost like runs into a guy on his bike. They could have both been hurt pretty badly. Like I felt I had some kind of a maternal instinct kick. That was like, Jeff, what the? No, I'll show his wife. We'll see what she says. I bet she won't be happy. I'll get him in trouble for his own good. For his own good. And then he's fucking eating a lime whole, the rind and everything.
Oh, I missed that. What? Yeah.
He ate one of those like spicy chips, the 1 chip challenge. That didn't seem to impact him too much, at least. But look, I'm just worried that Jeff's going to, like, Dan Rex would be like, it'd be really funny if you stabbed yourself 2 inches from where your heart is. I bet it's safe. And he'd be like, well, I guess I'll do that. Because he doesn't want to ever let anybody down. We have to protect him. He makes me
He's
money.
a people pleaser.
I'm doing
that's
okay
true,
for
but
now. There's a novelty with him not here. We need him back eventually.
ultimately, I have no connections in
Yeah.
the gaming industry.
All
Everybody,
this-
I'm afraid.
All this YouTube money goes to his account. I don't get access to it unless he sends it
That's
to
true.
me.
He has the card.
We have to protect him. All right, we'll continue.
Okay, so here are his questions for me. Number one, N64 GameCube. I'm with Mike on this one. GameCube.
Yeah.
I feel that in general, there is not a Nintendo 64 game that didn't have a better sequel on the GameCube.
Except for Mario 64.
Yeah, that's the one. And we got Metroid Prime on the GameCube too.
Star Fox 64, I guess. But yeah, there's so many other GameCube games that make up for that generally. But yes, you're right.
Yes, on the whole. How do you feel about Crystal from Star Fox? Okay, listen. There's a lot of boobs in the world and on the internet. And if that's where you got to go to get your boobs, you do you.
There's a lot of boobs that
enjoy your furry boobs.
There's a lot of boobs that aren't attached to like Fox ladies, is all I'm saying.
Look, I'm just saying, when you're in the private revelry of your own imagination, that's a time to experiment. And if you need a little kickstart, a little catalyst,
all right,
go play some Star Fox. And
like
number 3, how do you feel about Super Metroid in 2022? It's one of the best games ever made and still is.
Suck it down.
Suck it down, Daikatana.
Daikatana. John Romero's about to make you his bitch.
In fact,
he just said, I like this open-minded Minotti. He's not going to anymore.
How do you like me now?
How do you like me now?
No, actually, during COVID, when my kids were at school and I was home with my youngest son, Walt, who was like 2 or 3 at the time, I busted out the SNES Mini and he was watching me play Super Metroid, and he was very into it. He wanted to watch me shoot bad guys, and I was happy to oblige. And
it's good to shoot people if you judge them as bad based on your own moral scale.
Well, they're monsters, Mike.
Then they can die. Yeah, as long as they look bad according to your predetermined.
He was very into the crate fight, very much so.
Oh, good.
Yes. Okay. Bench JC says, "Hey gang, Mike's mentioned that y'all are going to Disney this year. What are some of your favorite must-do things at Disney?" Oh boy, how much time do we have?
There's a lot of it. Right. You can pick. You do one.
Should we do like per park?
Well, I mean, okay. Why? What's your must-do thing in Magic Kingdom?
My must-do in Magic Kingdom is, it's probably Pirates of the Caribbean if I had to pick one thing. Even though I like obviously a lot of things there. It would have been Splash Mountain, but that's going away, and right now apparently it's in rough shape because they just don't care to maintain it.
Sure.
But Pirates of the Caribbean, I think, is like a quintessential Disney attraction, and everyone who goes to Disney should ride it.
People Mover, which is just like a tram that goes like on like the second floor of Tomorrowland. I like that. It's relaxing.
Over at Epcot, it's Spaceship Earth. Again, that's like the thesis of that park, and I love that attraction. And even though it's not as good as it was back in '94, I still really like Spaceship Earth a lot.
My must-do is to ride a decent buzz into the night when all the lights are out, and then I go to this weird area of the Japan Pavilion and World Showcase that's abandoned at that point, and they have like a lot of pretty lights up, and there's a nice clean bathroom there never uses, and I kind of just hang out there for 10 minutes, and I feel pretty good.
Hollywood Studios, it's Muppet Vision 3D, because that's one of my favorite things to ever exist.
Yeah, agreed. I love Muppet Vision. That's like the one, if they close it, like I'm going down there for the last day.
That would be one of those ones, like, I got to see that before it's gone. And then Animal Kingdom is obvious. You do the safari, because, again, that's like the whole point of that park.
No, Animal Kingdom's Nomad Lounge, which is this incredible bar that they have there. It's spacious, it's relaxing, it's chill, but it has this fun kind of safari outpost theme. They have incredible cocktails and appetizers. Nomad Lounge. That's maybe my absolute must-do in all of Walt Disney World is this fucking bar, but it's a great bar.
It is very good. It is very, very good. All right, the Uncharted Wolf says, "Hi, Mike. Grubb was never here. He was but a figment of our imagination, Minotti. And AJ, already better than that shill Grubb, Minotti." He said it, not me.
Yeah, AJ's never lied about Wind Waker, so there.
With Mike's sudden love of Prattario, is that what we're calling it? Prattario? Prattario.
Pratt.
I was
Chris
wondering.
Pratt Mario, yeah.
Well, I know what he's saying, but I don't know how you say it. I was wondering, what was the fastest you've changed your opinion on something from announcement to reveal? I always thought that Mario and Rabbids game sounded stupid from the leaks, but seeing the game in motion E3 2017 really changed my opinion on it. I mean, that's a good one. Because again, like that like poster leaked, and it was like, "What the hell is this?" And then you saw it, and it was like, "Oh, this looks phenomenal." So that's a good example.
Very good. It's hard because like I was like, a lot of controversial ones like Wind Waker. I was actually always on board with that. So I didn't care.
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
I was like disgusted by the name for the Wii, like everyone else, and then got over that one pretty quick. I was like,
Yeah,
how could they not take this seriously? Right? Like I was like mad. Like they'll have to change it. And then like the next day, it's like, oh, I'm already used to it.
The other one too that maybe it's not so much a turnaround, but I was always fine with the always on Xbox One idea. I thought what they were like planning on doing that was kind of cool once you actually dug into like the explanation, but everyone just heard always online and freaked out, and that was that.
Get load of this guy.
Epic Open World says, "Hey Mike, Chris Pratt apologist Minotti, and AJ, brother of the Chris Pratt apologist Minotti. With the rough launch of Overwatch, how much leeway should we give Blizzard? I can live with the queues, but I and many other console players are facing the issue of all of our stuff from Overwatch 1 not transferring over correctly right now, and that is something I believe should we should not be giving them a pass on." I mean, they said that's a bug. Your stuff's not gone. It's going to show up once they get that figured out. Again, these games always have varying degrees of bad launch. A year from now, 2 years from now, you're barely going to remember it. You're going to be like, oh yeah, this launch bad. Anyway, let's play it some more.
I mean, I'm selfish.
Ultimately, I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be able to forgive it as long as I keep having fun when I can't play the game and assume like the queues die down eventually, then I'll be okay. Like, you know, they have some leeway for me because I still, like when I haven't been able to play it, I've been having fun. So that'll give you leeway.
I mean, I'm the kind of person where, like, again, if we're like, hey, let's play Overwatch 2. Oh, we can't get into the queues. Well, let's play something else. There's a million games we can play right now. So it's not an issue, yeah.
Maybe go back to Halo Infinite, right?
Yeah. You know, maybe once they switch it over to Unreal Engine, just hit that button. G-Man Sir says, "Hello, Mike, failed clone Miss Naughty, and AJ, the original Minotti."
Oh, I'm you too, then.
That's right. What will be the post-credit scene of the Mario Brothers movie? You kind of said this on Nintendogs, and I think you're probably absolutely correct.
Yeah, it's going to be the Yoshi egg, and it's going to like zoom in on it, and it's going to crack open. It's going to crack a little bit. It's going to shake and crack, and then black. That's the post-credits. Like Rebecca said that it might be like on Peach's Castle. I think that'd be cool. I don't know, but no matter what, it's going to be the Yoshi egg.
Just to give a different answer, I think it will be something involving Donkey Kong, and that's going to be what sets up the Donkey Kong Country movie. I don't know what that looks like yet, but that's my guess.
We're gonna watch King K. Rool awkwardly go into his banana hoard and steal the bananas.
Yeah, that's it. They're gonna be like it'll be like Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong be walking back, and it'll be like Seth Rogen voice, like, oh, that was pretty crazy with the Mushroom Kingdom. Let's go have a banana. And they walk in, they're gone. He does like that eye bug out thing, and then that's the end. There you go.
I think my idea is gonna happen.
Facility George says,
what am I talking about? The fucking Nick Fury's just gonna recruit them into the Avengers, right? Sorry.
That's right.
I didn't say the obvious joke. I had to stop the show so I could.
Facility George says, Miyamoto is undecidedly pointing a gun at both of you.
Shit.
Only one of you is the real Minotti. The other is a fake.
Oh, he's got to ask for something only the real Minotti would know.
How do each of you plead your case to Miyamoto that you are the real Minotti? You know what I say? I say, Miyamoto-san, they're only Goombas and nothing else.
Yes. It's like, I threw up when I saw a Goomba wearing a hat once. It disgusted me. I couldn't eat for days.
Try to convince him how much we hate naming Goombas. No, then I say, he bastardized your name and combined it with Tolkien. He's the imposter.
No, he likes that. He loves Tolkien, probably. I don't know.
He hates naming things, Mike.
I would say, would the real Minotti be able to do this? And I do like this with my arms, and he'd be confused and shoot me, probably, and then I'd die.
There you go. All right, that is it for the podcast producers. If you want to be a podcast producer, you can subscribe to the Game Mess on Patreon, join this very YouTube channel, or I think you could subscribe to Jeff Grubb on Twitch, and you could join the podcast producers channel in the Discord and ask your questions. But Mike,
yes,
do we have more super chats?
We do. Jess Martinez asks, "Is AJ 5'7"?" Like, Mike, okay, yeah, I'm like 5'11", maybe 5'10 and a half. And AJ's a little bit taller than me.
I'm an even 6.
Even 6, all right. Slippery Moose. Is AJ also? I bet AJ does not give off short guy energy, by the way. I do. I got that comment again recently. I think it was in the travel logs from the Chicago thing with Giant Boy. Everybody assumes I'm short. It must be my feisty...
You're just around tall people. That's the problem. I mean, Jeff's tall. Jen's taller.
That's not it. I'm not around him. When I was with him and I was the same height, then people thought it was fine. It's when I'm just by myself and people can do nothing but guess that they assume I'm a short person. There's nothing wrong with being a short person, but I am not. Slippery Moose Cake says, "Can you please confirm Jeff Grubb is voicing Luigi?" Let's call him. Let's see if we can get him on voicemail.
Oh boy,
maybe he can answer this one. He's probably wasted or something.
Yeah, they were out to dinner. He said when he was on the show earlier. So yeah,
the speaker on.
He's probably quite inebriated.
Okay, let's see if we can get him on here. Let's see. Hopefully, you know how it is with Jeff. It's sometimes pretty hard to get a hold of him.
Yeah, technology and Jeff sometimes doesn't.
Is he even going to come through the mic with like all that shit it has set up?
I can hear the ringing.
All right, you can hear it. Come on,
He's
come
just
on,
not gonna answer.
Come on, you stupid son of a bitch! It's a goddamn phone. We can leave him a voicemail. Actually, is there any way Jeff has voicemail set up?
Grubb is not available. Please leave a message after the tone.
This is Jeff Grubb, and what was your question, Mike?
Hey, Jeff, cool voicemail message thing. Hey, are you the voice of Luigi? All right, goodbye. All right, hopefully he'll get back to us on that one. Thank you.
Probably not. He'll check that message like 4 days from now.
Thank you.
You'll be doing Nintendogs on Tuesday. Be like, Jeff, check your voicemail.
Yeah. Did I? I think I somehow accidentally closed the super chats. I bet I could just scroll up and get them. Maybe.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah. Here we go. From KACL780 says, Mike, KACL780 is a radio call sign from a great show from the 90s. To keep it related to this podcast, what's your Frasier video game pitch? Okay, I'm a little embarrassed I didn't pick up. I love Frasier. It has actually been a while since I watched when I went through it and I sprinted through the show. It was 2006. It was that one semester I was in college at Toledo. I was in my dorm, just absolutely destroying Frasier. So
I still have the DVDs.
There was that mock-up screenshot of a Frasier beat 'em up that looked amazing. It was
amazing.
It was them actually at KACL. It looked so cool. It basically looked like it was a 2D pixel art thing, kind of like something Trivia Games would do. Gosh, that looked cool. A point and click adventure game would also be very, very good.
Yeah, I was even gonna say to take it a little further, like what's that studio does the Man of Medan games and all that.
The what now? Oh, the what?
Man of Medan. It's on the boat and they're kind of horror games, but there's like you're kind of choosing the branches of what's going to happen.
Oh, I don't know those games.
Anyone in chat know what I'm talking about? Supermassive. Yeah, that's the studio who makes Dark Pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but use that technology to tell a fun Frasier story where you're making choices and affecting what's going on and stuff.
Tyler James Bay says, "Screw Grubb, long live Super Minotti Brothers." That's correct, sir. And then, ACL is back, said, last one, first show I can catch live. AJ, show support for your bro and predict something 100% happening in the video game world in 2023.
Okay, in 2023, a video game is going to come out.
Yeah? What's it going to be about?
It's going to be about winning.
What are you going to, where are you going to do this winning?
Online.
You could have said space. You would have been filming in a good spot. You know?
Okay, an actual prediction. Let me see. What do I got? Let me get in touch with this psychosis. I think that Sony will announce a remaster of the Infamous that came out for PS4.
No way. Maybe.
Yeah.
I bet they do.
They won't go back to the PS3 ones because that's hard.
I can't remember what
they
it's
can
called.
up as the PS4 game. Second Son.
Is
that right?
Yeah, the Second Son. Then the first, it had that expansion thing. Was it a standalone expansion? First Light or something like that.
Standalone, yes.
Yeah, standalone. All right, fine. I don't believe you, but that's not an.
I don't either. I don't know.
First Light. There we go. First Light. We did it. All right, I think that is it with the super chats for now. If you guys still want to squeeze a couple more in there, we will read them before the show is over. AJ, what have you been playing?
One, I forgot to write it down, but I meant to say it was. I've been playing a lot more Splatoon 3 as the weeks have gone on. It's been a good kind of pick up and play game for me at home with the kids around, and I I really like it. I'm finally starting to get a handle on the way the motion controls in that game want to work, and
there's the one time
it's
you were
very
playing
fun.
with me on stream, and you were like beating
I was getting
yourself
so
up and
mad.
you weren't getting mad. You're getting like depressed. Like I just can't hang anymore. I guess I'm just old and out of it.
It still bothers me, especially because like Overwatch on the Switch does work this way. Like I still want to use the analog stick to look up, down, left, right, and then I want to use the motion controls to fine tune my aim. And when the Splatoon 2 did this too, it drove me crazy there. If you have motion controls on, up and down on the right stick is just turned off. It just doesn't do anything. So all of your vertical aiming is purely motion control. And it's on a different speed than the horizontal. Like they're not the same sensitivity, and you can't set those independently. So I still wish I had more fine tuning over the control, but I just kind of forced myself to start learning it, and I'm getting it. I've been playing with the dualies more.
I like the dualies.
Yeah, like the mechanic there is you have to like do your dodge roll, and then you get like more accurate shooting coming out of the roll for a little bit. So I've been learning that and enjoying it very much.
NCKTG says you can't set them independently.
How? Tell me your secrets.
Help him where he's old. You heard him. He can't figure it out anymore.
Yeah. I'm old and infirmed.
I'm old and infirm. I've been enjoying it a lot. I haven't played a whole ton recently just because of Overwatch, and when I'm on my Switch at night, I am playing so much Xenoblade Chronicles still. Check the options. Have you checked the options?
I checked the options.
Now other people are saying you
Condescending
can't.
prick.
So I don't. So I don't know. I don't know. Inconclusive, everybody. We have to do Salmon Run. Apparently, they have some Back to the Future 2-esque looking rewards in
Chris,
Salmon.
You hear that, Chris? There's Back to the Future rewards in Salmon Run. We got to do it.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Have you started the single player?
No,
at all?
I don't want to start it till I beat Xenoblade, and I bet it's really good, but I can't. I just can't. So I've like really enjoyed it, and even still, I haven't played as much of it as I want to. And like once the next Splatfest comes out, that's gonna be another good excuse to go back to it. Jeff has the you know what face for that now. That's great. Good emojiing there, Chris. We'll have to get on that. Yeah,
my dilemma with that game is I gotta be careful with how much I play in front of my kids because if they all want it, that's $180 I gotta drop on it. Santa might be getting them Splatoon 3 for Christmas. We'll see.
That'd be fun. I bet the kids would. I bet the twins anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're not killing anybody. It's lighthearted. I think that's
it's good because you have twin girls, and like the one is like a lot more girly. I think she kind of like the fashion stuff of it, and the other one's a bit more tomboyish and kind of just like the action and the kind of vibe of it and whatnot. So it'll be a good fit for everybody. You've been playing Cyberpunk? I still haven't touched this.
Since the patch came out, I put it on my Steam Deck and also have it on GeForce Now, which is fun because I could just crank it and everything looks great there.
AJ loves to crank it.
I crank it and charge it and chug it.
Okay.
But I when I first played this game on the Xbox when it first came out, I got through like kind of the prologue and I refunded it because I could, and I was like, well, let's wait till they fix this, and they did. So I started over because I'm on PC, and I was trying to do what I do in a Bethesda game before where I was like the stealthy sniper. And this time I was like, I just want to shoot everything. I'm just going in guns blazing, playing it like a shooter. And it's a lot of fun doing that, actually. I am very much enjoying it. It's technically, everything's in a good place right now. I got it running at a good 30 frames per second on the Steam Deck. Like I said, 60 FPS, max out GeForce Now. And then even on my desktop, I can get like medium-high settings with ray tracing and still hit 60. So, I have a lot of options to play it, which is always helpful. But they kind of are No Man's Skying it a little bit, where they kind of got that game fixed up and it's in a good spot and it's fun. I'm enjoying myself.
Did you play a lot of Deus Ex Human Revolution?
Yes, the first one I actually had it on live, but then I ended up getting it on PC.
Incredible.
And I got through because it was when they like redid it and changed the way some of the boss fights worked. I probably got about halfway on that second go around. I never played the sequel.
I don't think anybody did. I'm not sure that game existed. Like high profile sequel with like the same kind of like budget and everything, and everybody talked so much about Human Revolution, and then the other Mankind Divided or whatever. No one talks about Mankind Divided at all. Mm-hmm. So I bet it's good. I bet it's fun, but it's just weird. No one talks. Like even me, I liked Human Revolution a lot. Didn't touch the sequel, but I guess like how does Cyberpunk compare to that? Because that's basically what I'm always imagining. Or maybe hoping
I think what's helping Cyberpunk now is we all thought we knew what Cyberpunk was going to be when it first came out. We thought it was going to be a bit more emergent, I thought the cyberpunk, like the whole like cyberkinetic thing was going to be a bigger deal. Like you'd be putting blades in your arms and that becomes your melee weapon. Like it's not that. It's not that you kind of accepted that and moved on, just kind of take the game for what it is.
Right.
I think that helps out a lot.
And I think that was a point. Like they're selling this so much, and it really was just like, no, it's just another like first person RPG kind of a thing, and it's gonna be a pretty one with a lot of style, but sure. So maybe when I do finally get to it, I'll have fun with that.
You need to play Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy first.
All right, yeah, maybe.
Which was made by the team who made Deus Ex.
That's right, actually. How about that? How about the connection there? All right, so we've both been playing Overwatch 2. I know we talked about it a good bit, but I mean, I have been having a lot of fun when we've been able to play.
I'm very much enjoying it. Taking as just as the game itself, I think the 5v5 works. The de-emphasis on barriers in general and shields in the game has made the fighting more kind of frantic, in your face. There's a lot less kind of posturing around corners and trying to pick people off and really just kind of get in there. Yeah. Like there's a lot more like just fighting that breaks out in the game. So I like that aspect very much.
I think it works. Where it's a little awkward with having one tank is that if your tank does die, it does seem kind of devastating. Again, I hate saying too much about what this stuff means. I remember when Overwatch 1 came out and people were like giving their meta opinions about that game, like in the first like 3 days. How obnoxious it was. And they always do it when new heroes come out. This hero's trash. This hero's overpowered. It's been a day. Nobody really knows. So, it seems fine. It seems like if your tank dies, it's rough. There's still some tanks I don't... Mostly Wrecking Ball, who I used to like to play as. I don't really understand how that character works. As like
apparently people still say he's good because dive is very popular right now in the early days. So he's a good dive tank.
Say so. I don't know. I don't believe. I think that might be one of those things you say with confidence, and you're not.
I watched some tier ranking videos.
Ranking videos.
I know about Junker Queen, Kyle Martin. And all the new characters I think are all really good. They're 3 very strong new heroes.
I like the healer actually quite a bit. Kiriko, her.
She's hard because you got to hit headshots with her, or you're not doing much damage at all. So like she's high.
I can hit headshots. I'm pretty good.
Look at you! Yeah. I like Junker Queen just because she has a lot of abilities, so you feel like you're always doing something. Between throwing the knife, which is on a short cooldown, hitting that battle charge, doing the axe swing and everything. So she's a lot of fun to play as. And then Sojourn is like a lot of people kind of criticize her as like just kind of like a twist on Soldier, but I think it's a cool twist. I like the rail cannon, like you're shooting at somebody and your ammo's about to run out. You have one more shot, boom, rail cannon, they're done.
Yeah, no, I think all the heroes are good. I enjoy them. Junker Queen, also pretty fun. Orisa is actually a lot of fun. Not really a new hero, basically a new hero. I like playing as her on tank a lot. Just like some of the small changes here and there in general. Bastion with his rework is a lot more enjoyable now.
Yeah.
So
the other thing, it's a subtle change they did, but I think it is really cool. I like the changing day-night cycle options on the map. Like it's cool to go to a map we've been playing on since the game launched. Now it's like nighttime, and that kind of changes the vibe of the map a little bit. It's cosmetic, but it's cool.
Yeah, I could take or leave that. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, do you like the new maps? I heard an argument, and I guess I kind of agree with this, that it's almost hard to differentiate them. There's like a lot of maps in this city, and with like winding things, and they don't like necessarily stand out.
I can understand. I can understand that. I mean, I like them. I haven't had an issue with a map so far, but I can understand that a little bit.
I get that a little bit.
Yeah, they're not as exotic as like Temple of Anubis or Hanamura.
Right, like here's like a
very different
Japanese castle, or like the King's Row, like the clock tower, like that stuff. I don't know, set out a little bit more than another city. And it's at this part. Although I actually like the New York one a lot, probably just because the fire station gives me Ghostbuster vibes. Or Universal Studios Orlando with that one street that has the Ghostbuster vibe specifically.
There you go. You go. Where do you fall on the battle pass? Like, are you going to be like buying it every season, grinding out challenges, getting all the unlocks? Or
well, I mean, you're because if you want to get that new hero right away, you're probably going to... Every other battle pass, you're going to need to do that after a while.
I wonder, like, when it's the battle pass that doesn't have a hero, are they going to see, like, a slump in sales? Will people not care as much?
You would imagine. Yeah. Like, who would care as much about it? Then, I don't know. It depends. It was something, like, less is interesting about getting these skins when it's just like, oh, yeah, I'm level 10. I got the skin. Like, everybody else did.
Yeah, right? I know what you mean. Yeah, like, everybody's wearing that Winston skin because it's the first one you unlock.
It was like in fucking Halo Infinite when there's just, like, a certain point where, okay, now everybody's got, like, fire helmet on. Cool. like what's in the, like, what's special about that? I don't know. So battle passes in general, I still think Fortnite has the best battle passes. Like their whole system for it is great, and they have a lot of cool rewards. Like the final reward is always something really, really neat here. Like here they have these
Fortnite.
Sorry.
Okay. I was gonna say Fortnite has an advantage over like Apex and Overwatch because cosmetics are locked to specific characters in those games. So like
they can't just put Darth Vader in their games,
right? Not only that, but like you buy this thing that's only when you're playing that character, and maybe you do the fill roll queue, and you have a really cool Mercy skin, but you're DPS this round, and so you can't use it, like stuff like that.
Yeah, but no, I'm enjoying it. I wanna play some more, and hopefully we can dive.
Yeah, again, the game I think is phenomenal. I mean, it's what I want to play right now, so that's always a good sign. I had the gamer dream where I was in Overwatch. That's usually a good sign.
Oh
yeah, I'm going to bring that up because you guys were talking about how do you know you're really enjoying a game or into a game like a couple weeks ago, and I was thinking about that. I always have the gamer dream. You ever do that, Mike?
Yeah, I've had a couple of them. Yeah, where you actually have a dream set inside the game. Usually it's more nebulous than that, and a lot of times it's not something specific like that is.
It usually starts with me playing the game, but then all of a sudden I'm just in it, and I don't like differentiate between the two. I'm just now in the game, and that's just how it works. They're fun. I like those dreams.
So Cord said like, oh, if Microsoft buys Activision, they should just make a version of Overwatch with their characters. I wonder if they would at least actually just like put Master Chief in Overwatch. Like that.
No, I don't know if they'd go that far. I mean, it has a pretty specific lore, and I don't think you mess with that.
Maybe unless you're not making as much money anymore. You know what would make some money? Fucking
nah. I still don't see them quite going that.
You think,
I mean, they might. I mean, what they might do is kind of like what they did with some Warcraft stuff in the game, where maybe someone like a soldier or someone gets like just a Spartan skin,
cosplayer,
like Soldier 76.
No, they should have a character who is just a big Halo fan, and he made the suit. Fuck it. His name's John. His name's Johnny. Put Blinks the Time Sleeper in. I got Blinks the Time Sleeper installed on my Xbox Series S, and yes, that is a threat. You all need to watch the hell out.
What you've all done.
Yeah, you better prepare your butts for that one. Do you think Overwatch 2 would have maybe like all the like other like server problems and DDoS? You think it would have gone over better if it at least had some of the co-op stuff there at launch? Would that have at least quieted the this isn't even a sequel?
I mean, it might have earned the 2 a little bit more, but I don't know.
Because we were at the BlizzCon when they announced it, and we got to play the co-op thing then, and that was so long ago.
It was super fun.
It was very fun, and it is pretty insane that like 3 years of development, and we have nothing to show on the co-op side of that yet.
Right.
Like,
well, and then if you believe what's been out there, like this PvP we're playing was developed in a year. Like they were only building the PvE, then they realized it was taking too long. It's like, well, let's get the PvP out, so let's start it. And that's why we only got like 3 characters and a couple new maps.
There's obviously a few other distractions that happened along the way in the last 3 years in the world and at Blizzard. So
yeah, what do you know?
Fun stuff there. All right, AJ, we did it. We made a podcast. I don't think there are any more super chats there. In fact, I know that we are good. Are you ready Are you ready for me to play this outro?
Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Good. It's playing now. Yeah, there it is. There's the piano tones. All right, so that brings us to the end of the show, everybody. AJ, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter. I am at AdgeGuy, and you could also find me on the 90s Disney podcast that Mike and I do with our brother Chris. We just had an episode come out about Interventions, and you guys might be interested to hear about the amazing Sega showcase that was part of Interventions' launch back in '94. And also interest you guys for our bonus episode this month. I talked to AJ Grant Sutton, who is the CEO of Dlala Studios, and they are making that new Illusion Island game starring Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy. That's
the one that looked like Rayman Origins or Rayman Legends.
Yes. So he and I actually had a chat and talked about the game and kind of the influences of the 90s Mickey games on what they put out. And it was super cool. He was a super fun guy to talk to, and that'll be coming out in the middle of the month, so keep an eye out for that.
Awesome. This rundown's funny. It's still forever ago. I wrote over Jeff's thing where he says I'm Jeff Grubb on Twitter,
I saw that.
and I wrote I'm Jeff Butt on Twitter, and it's still just there. Well, I'm not Jeff Butt or Jeff Grubb. I'm Mike Minotti, and I'm Tokoto on Twitter and on Twitch. Check out my streams. I've been doing that pretty regularly lately. Tomorrow might be a little iffy because we're busy. We're going to the Guardians game. We've got some hanging out tomorrow night. We are both in that Street Fighter beta, so we can play against each other, right?
It's true. It can't be done.
That's just gonna be good stuff. Used to beat me in every game when we were kids. So I think I definitely have an upper hand on fighting games.
Yeah, you've overtaken me.
So that's gonna be good. I am excited for Street Fighter. There's so much positive buzz for Street Fighter 6.
I know. Well, I skipped 5 entirely. I don't think I've touched it.
I only played a little bit of it.
I'm kind of ready.
Yeah, but even since 5 came out, I've been playing a lot of Third Strike still with my friends. We've always loved playing Third Strike, and I've just been like diving more into some of the old SNK shit here and there.
Yeah, hey, maybe we'll play some Marvel vs. Capcom 2, eh, Chris?
Oh, Chris is so mad. He had a cabinet pre-order, and like the pre-order was canceled because PayPal basically messed up a payment. It sucks. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back. Jeff's coming back, I think.
If he doesn't step into traffic. Did we do it?
Shut up, AJ. How dare you talk? We're not supposed to be talking anymore.
I don't know.
Shut up!